Hey everybody, it's Molly here. Quick disclaimer before we get into the FastPass challenge. Disney recently did an update to the My Disney Experience app, and they did a few different changes to the FastPass screen. Right here is the biggest change when it comes to the FastPass screen. When I was doing it, the time slots, there was a morning, afternoon, evening, and then the time slots were in half-hour increments. Now, there are no morning, afternoon, evenings. There's just hours at the top of the FastPass screen, and they are in hour increments instead of half-hour. But don't worry, you should still be able to toggle back and forth between them when you're looking at that FastPass screen, and different options will pop up. It's just in longer increments. So, I was using the old FastPass Plus edition when I made this video, so when you see the screen, it's going to look a little bit different than yours will today. That said, these tips and tricks should still help you no matter what. Enjoy the video! Good morning, everybody. It's Molly with AllEars, and I'm here today at Hollywood Studios with a brand new challenge. We've done it at Magic Kingdom, we've done it at Animal Kingdom, and now it's Hollywood Studios' turn. How many FastPasses can I get in Hollywood Studios in just one day? A lot of you asked for this video because Hollywood Studios right now is arguably the hardest park to book FastPasses in. A lot of really great attractions are in Tier 1, and most of the shows are in Tier 2. So what do you do if you want to ride Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror in just one day with a FastPass? I'm here to show you how. I'm hoping to get a FastPass for every single attraction in the park. I'll repeat some if I have to. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. We're going to learn tips and tricks along the way. I hope you're ready. Let's go. Currently, there are 13 FastPass attractions at Disney's Hollywood Studios, with Tier 1 having 5 big ones. It's got Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, Slinky Dog Dash, Toy Story Mania, and Alien Swirling Saucers. So those are 5 really big attractions. Then there are also your Tier 2 attractions, which are Star Tours, MuppetVision 3D, Voyage of the Little Mermaid, Frozen Sing-Along Show, Fantasmic, Disney Junior Live on Stage, Indiana Jones. Did I get them all? Take 2. Star Tours, Voyage of the Little Mermaid, Frozen Sing-Along, MuppetVision 3D, Beauty and the Beast Live on Stage, Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, Fantasmic, and the Disney Junior Dance Party. So there's 8 Tier 2 attractions and 5 Tier 1 attractions, but again, a lot of the really good attractions that everybody wants to do at Hollywood Studios are in Tier 1, and you can only pick one of those, and then you get to pick 2 in Tier 2 for your initial 3 picks when you're booking FastPass. For today's challenge, I picked the earliest FastPass I could get, and that was for Rock and Roller Coaster from 9 to 10 a.m. right when the park opened. So that's where I'm headed right now. When you're booking Tier 1 for Hollywood Studios, if Slinky Dog Dash shows up, you're going to want to snag that one because that's the most popular FastPass here at Hollywood Studios. So definitely snag that one if it comes available. Besides that, if it's not available, I say pick the one you like the most. There is single rider at Rock and Roller Coaster, so you don't necessarily have to have a FastPass for that one. Tower of Terror is incredibly popular, so if that's on your must-do list, I recommend grabbing that one. But so is Toy Story Mania, so kind of a toss-up. The one I would not grab is Alien Swirling Saucers. I don't think that attraction, fun-wise, measures up to the other attractions in Tier 1. But hopefully, we'll do them all today, and we can talk about each one as we get there. It's first thing in the morning, so there's actually only like a 20-minute line at Rock and Roller Coaster right now, which does lead me to one of my favorite FastPass tips, is that if you're coming to the parks, you don't actually need to book them until probably like 10 or 11. Again, always, if you see Slinky Dog, get it whatever time it is. But as far as the other attractions, you kind of want to space them out a little bit because you could go in standby right now and only wait 20 minutes. So I would say book your first one for like 2 hours after the park opens. So that way you're not wasting it when the standby line is very manageable. FastPass 1 complete. I love Rock and Roller Coaster, and what a way to start the day. Who needs coffee when you've got a 0 to 60 launch in 2.8 seconds? I do, I still need coffee. But it's a great way to start the day, and great use of a first FastPass. I don't know if you necessarily need to make it a priority for a FastPass, because there is single rider, and like I said, it was only 20 minutes first thing in the morning, because everybody's running to Galaxy's Edge. So if you want to ride it, I maybe would make it a later pick for your Tier 1 FastPass. After you've used your first 3, I would maybe prioritize Toy Story Mania or Tower of Terror over it, because those don't have single rider. All that said, I love Rock and Roller Coaster, one of my favorite rides at Walt Disney World. and I'm off to FastPass 2, which is Voyage of the Little Mermaid. Because now I'm gonna go watch Ursula before I've had coffee. I have the 10:05 to 10:20 FastPass, which means I'm seeing the 10:25 show. It's about a 20-minute show. That is one thing you have to factor in when you're working at Hollywood Studios, is that a lot of the things you're booking FastPasses for are shows. So they're 20, 30 minutes that you have to think about when you're booking your FastPass right after that. The day I'm filming this, tomorrow, The Little Mermaid Live on ABC is happening. So they were handing out these buttons to remind us about that as I came into the queue. So you never know, you could get a freebie wherever you go. But also, is anyone else scared of Mustachio John Stamos? And I love me some Uncle Jesse. I've gone on a Full House tirade before, but Mustachio John Stamos, somehow scarier than Ursula. Do you agree?
I just don't see how a world that makes such wonderful things could be better.
Now, angelfish. The solution to your problem is quite simple.
Making my way over to FastPass number 3 right now, MuppetVision 3D. Bonus! I like to wave. See if anybody wave back. Hi guys! Big fan of your work! Oh, Stormtrooper nod. I'll take that. Hey pal! Brienne of Tarth, I love you! Wrong movie. Hi Chewie! Hi Ray! Alright, we'll take that. Fun little bonus moment with the characters from the Star Wars Galaxy Far, Far Away. That's the show on the Chinese theater several times a day, and if you catch it at the right time, you'll actually see the characters walking to and from the stage, and you can wave. They won't stop or anything, but you can wave. It's a cool picture opportunity. You can yell at them and see if they'll wave at you like I do. Let me know if you have better luck. Did get that nod from a stormtrooper though. Take it. MuppetVision was the only FastPass I could get that was close to the exit time of The Little Mermaid, and I'm trying to get a lot of them today, so I need to be strategic. Now, let's talk Tier 2 FastPasses. This is a good time to do that. You need to pick 2, even if you don't want to, because you can't pick anything from Tier 1 until you've used 2 from Tier 2. So pick 2 shows that you want to see anyway and just use a FastPass. Pick MuppetVision, pick Star Tours. Star Tours is actually the hardest to get because it's the best of the Tier 2 options, but just pick 2 things. And then that way you can start getting FastPasses one at a time, and those Tier 1 attractions will become available again. Checked off MuppetVision 3D, a delight as always. When I was in the pre-show, I immediately went into the My Disney Experience app to look for my 4th FastPass. This is where the fun really begins, guys, because now I can get 1 at a time. So each time I go on an attraction, I'm going to be grabbing a FastPass for the next attraction. So I originally got an 11:45 for Toy Story Mania, which is in about 30 minutes, which is really good. And for most people, I would say do that because you're closer to Toy Story Land, and that's a great attraction. But I am not most people, and I'm an insane human trying to do a challenge. And I then kept playing around and was able to get Tower of Terror for 11:20, which is in about 5 minutes. So I'm headed literally all the way across the park right now to go back to Tower of Terror. Seems to be a relatively busy day in Hollywood, so the biggest piece of advice I give you for FastPass at any park is to make sure you refresh your screen as many times as possible. The way you do that is you click between the time slots. So when you first go into it, it's going to populate them automatically as morning, afternoon, and night. And then there's going to be a bunch of times listed next to that. Make sure you toggle between the 2 half hours that are closest to you or closest to the time you're looking for a FastPass. So like 2 and 2:30, for example. Also click into the attraction you would want to get one, and then pull the little thing and you should be able to open up some more FastPasses. If that doesn't work, go back, toggle between the times again. Keep playing around with the app. May take a few minutes, but I promise things will pop up that didn't pop up originally, and you can keep getting FastPasses over and over again. That said, you can't always be super picky, so like if you see an attraction you want that hadn't popped up before, it previously said there weren't any available for Toy Story Mania, and then all of a sudden you do it, you refresh something and Toy Story Mania pops up, grab it at whatever time it's at, even if it's later, and then try to modify that one for an earlier time. Whilst in the queue for Tower of Terror, I fiddled and I faddled, and I got one for Toy Story Mania at 11:45, which is in like 60 seconds, so I'm headed over that way now. I'm starting to also kind of figure out what times the shows are, because, like, for example, Beauty and the Beast and Indiana Jones, there's only 5 of them all day long, and I think they've both already had at least one, so gotta schedule those in sometime. Also gotta consider Frozen. Of course, Fantasmic is later, so lots to consider. It's like a giant puzzle, but it's so fun. Looking good in line for Toy Story Mania. This is one of my favorite attractions because you ride it again and again, and I definitely think you need to use a FastPass. If you've got a family coming, this is the only attraction that everyone in the family can ride in Tier 1. Everything else has a height requirement, so this is definitely a good use of a FastPass. But it's not that hard to get later on, unlike Slinky Dog Dash, of course. Sometimes Tower of Terror won't show up again. This one will usually show up again. Here's a pro tip. If you're gonna ride this more than once, your arm's gonna get tired. So don't waste effort at the warm-up part. You're not getting any points there. Pull it a few times to figure out how to aim your cannon, but other than that, don't waste your energy.
Oh, way to play, everyone! Examine their score.
Golly, I love that attraction. Definitely a great use of FastPass. Like I said, the only Tier 1 attraction that does not have a height requirement, so great family attraction. While in line, I was able to get one for Alien Swirling Saucers in about 10 minutes. So I'll walk slowly, maybe take some selfies with all the Toy Story walls. This is the checkerboard wall. Oh, thank you! And this is the popsicle wall. Oh, get your selfie on while you're in the queue. And friendly reminder, they will let you in about 5 minutes early. Alien Swirling Saucers is really cute and it's fun. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna have a good time. Is it a must-do or a priority FastPass? Definitely not. It's actually my last choice for a Tier 1 FastPass, just because it's not as exciting or fun as Toy Story Mania or Rock and Roller Coaster or something like that. So if you can get it as a secondary Tier 1 FastPass, definitely check it out. Your kids are gonna like it. It's cute. You don't need to do it as a Tier 1 initially. So Alien Swirling Saucers, when I went in to get another FastPass, I wanted to get Beauty and the Beast and there wasn't one available. So I refreshed and then the only time available was 4:30. So I grabbed it because it's much easier to modify a FastPass to a different time for that same FastPass than it is to keep toggling, because it could have gone away. So I grabbed it and then modified it, and bang, 12:30 popped up, which is the next show time, or the next FastPass time for the 1 o'clock show, leaving me just enough time for coffee. Got my iced coffee. I'm cherishing the pumpkin flavor as long as I can, because I was just told that once they run out, they're not reordering it, because now it's Christmas drinks. Which, don't get me wrong, I love Christmas, but I totally prefer pumpkin to peppermint coffee. It's just so good. Also, here's my friendly reminder. People may not realize this, that you can bring in drinks to shows that are outside. So like Beauty and the Beast, Fantasmic, Indiana Jones, you can bring drinks and snacks in there. Beers, coffee, popcorn. So it's a good place if you're ready to take a little break, you need a little snack, but you can still be entertained. Beauty and the Beast live on stage is another one that I think is a good use of a Tier 2 FastPass. If you're planning on seeing it, you may as well grab the FastPass for one of your initial 3. That way you're guaranteed a seat and you don't have to wait in line, because this theater will fill up from time to time.
Esteemed Mesdames and Messieurs, it is with deepest pride and greatest pleasure that we welcome you.
We're not safe until he's dead. He'll come stalking us at night. Send to sacrifice your children to his monstrous appetite.
I do love Beauty and the Beast live on stage. Had my coffee, feel re-energized. And like I said, it does fill up. It was a pretty full show when I was there, so if you want to see it, grab a FastPass. Keep in mind, when you get a FastPass for a show, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have an amazing seat. It just guarantees you a seat. But there were still pretty good seats available in the theater while I was there. While I got in my seat, I went ahead and grabbed another FastPass for Rock and Roller Coaster, because there was one for about 5 minutes after the show was going to end, and I'm right here. Might as well go rock on with Aerosmith one more time, and then I'll see where I go next. Rock and Roller Coaster now at about 1:30 in the afternoon has a 75-minute wait. So this goes back to what I was saying, that it's smarter to ride it standby earlier in the day and then use FastPasses later in the day. Took a second spin on Rock and Roller Coaster. I do love that one. It actually took a little bit longer than normal, which is a good time for me to remind you that FastPass doesn't actually guarantee you have a 5 to 10 minute wait, even though that's usually what happens. It just guarantees that your wait is going to be less than the standby line. So there are times where you may wait 20 plus minutes in FastPass, but when you look at standby being like 2 hours, that's a-okay. Anyway, while I was in line, I grabbed a FastPass for the next showing of Frozen, the sing-along show. I'm trying to knock these shows off, because I got to do everything if I'm going to complete this challenge I made up for myself. And the shows, as I've said, take some time, and they're at a specific time. So, grabbed one for Frozen, and that's where I'm headed.
Right now, hi there, man. Where are you from? What state? The state of London. The state of London.
Look.
Oh boy, I look
Look,
good.
there you are. Oh, yeah. Got it. Spotted the citizens of Hollywood as I was cruising down over to the Hyperion Theater. And this is my friendly reminder that the way I'm doing the park, lots of tips and trips you can use, but I do not recommend running around like I do, like a crazy person. Stop and enjoy the parks. There's a lot to enjoy that's not on the guide map. You know, watch the citizens. Grab a drink at baseline. There's a lot of things you can do when you just slow down. You can still maximize your fast passes this way, but, you know, stop and enjoy the magic. If you run around too much, you'll miss something. I do think the Frozen sing-along is a good use of a Tier 2 FastPass, especially if you've got a Frozen fan, and I am delightfully surprised every time I see it how funny it is. Those were definitely the funniest narrators I've ever seen. The guy referred to Hans as one of Flynn Rider's messed up wanted posters, and I chuckled very loudly. So great use of a Tier 2 FastPass. And now, while I was in queue, I was able to snag one. I originally got one for Disney Junior, then I looked again and was able to get one for Indiana Jones, which is conveniently right next door. And my FastPass is over in 1 minute, so I should get in there. Hello. enjoy Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. It's the last remaining thing that really reminds me of original Hollywood Studios, where the point is to tell you how movies are made and not just put you in the movies. Don't get me wrong, I love everything new for the most part, but this is reminiscent of Magic Disney Animation and Lights, Motors Action and the Backlot Tour and all those things that showed you how movies are made, and this is kind of the last thing. So this is one that everyone from the littlest kids to grandparents will enjoy. It did start raining as I was in the show. A lot of people were like, oh, it's a special effect, but like, no, it's for real raining. But I was able to snag a FastPass for the next Disney Junior Dance Party because there's only 2 shows remaining for the rest of the day, and I wanted to make sure I got it done. Had to toggle a little bit to get that one, but good thing that show's inside because I'm hoping I can run over there and then dry off while I'm in the show, and then it'll be done raining. Look at the makeover on the arch. That's nice. Disney Junior Live on Stage is a great use of a Tier 2 FastPass if you've got the right age kids to go see the show. Because I assume if you've got little kids, you don't want to wait in a line at all if possible. So this is a really cute show. There's no seats or anything, so the kids can dance and sing along, and they're going to see their favorites like Vampirina and Doc McStuffins and Timon and Mickey, and I know who these characters are now because I've seen this show so many times. But it's really great, really interactive. Little ones love it, like toddler age. So this is a great FastPass if you plan to see the show, because then you can skip the wait with little kids altogether. While I was waiting for the show to begin, I was able to snatch a FastPass for, actually started while I was in the show, for Star Tours, which has become one of the hardest FastPasses to get because it's the only ride in Tier 2. So people are like, oh, this is the best FastPass in Tier 2. But most of the time when I get to Star Tours, it doesn't really have a long line anyway. So if you must ride Star Tours, grab it if you can. It's not a must for you, but some shows are. You may want to consider grabbing a couple of shows that you want to make sure you have seats for instead of Star Tours. But if it's a must for you, or even a maybe must, I would grab it. And then if there's no line when you get there, just change it to something else. So right now, the line for Star Tours and standby is 30 minutes, which really isn't that long considering how busy the park is today. So like I said, if Star Tours is a must for you or something you want to do, make a FastPass. But if you get here and the line's not that long, then I would recommend modifying it for something else that you want to guarantee you have a seat at. Modifying is another thing I like because in general, despite all these fun rules, if there's something that's a must-do for you, make the FastPass, and then when you get here, you can modify it to something else. Except for like things way late in the day, because then you've locked yourself in for the rest of the day. So like the nighttime shows. Star Tours success. That's one that's good to ride again and again if you can get multiple FastPasses, because the scenes change every time. So the beginning, middle, and end could change, and there's like 50 different things, and they've actually just added scenes from the new movie that's coming out. So if you can get multiple FastPasses for that one, power to you. Or if you can use a FastPass and then you see it's not a long line, go back and ride it standby. But anyway, while I was in line, obviously at this point, my main goal, the only 2 I haven't gotten are Slinky Dog Dash and Fantasmic, but I don't want to get Fantasmic yet, even though it's popped up multiple times, because it's not till 8:20, and that's like 3.5 hours from now, so then I wouldn't be able to get any more. So I originally got Toy Story Mania, but it's for like an hour from now, so then I refreshed it and I got a Tower of Terror for about 10 minutes from now. So that's where I'm headed right now. But mostly I'm gonna just be trying to get Slinky Dog from here on out, even though literally everything else is popping up except Slinky Dog. It has popped up a few times today, so I'm hopeful. And honestly, if I see it at any time, I'm grabbing it.
I feel so great.
Tower of Terror round 2. Great attraction to ride more than once because the drop changes every time. I didn't know what I wanted to ride next because obviously it's Slinky Dog, but that one hasn't shown up in a while. So fiddle-faddled back and forth for a little bit, and eventually I got one for Alien Swirling Saucers right now. So I took that because that was the closest time to right now, and I'm hoping to ride Toy Story again and Slinky Dog, so might as well get over to that side of the park. Did Alien Swirling Saucers for the second time. That ride is cute, and it is a hoot. Your kids are gonna love it. And I initially got a Toy Story Mania, but not for like an hour and 20 minutes. So then I swapped it to the next Frozen show, because I'll take air conditioning, and I can just sit there and try and get Slinky Dog for a little bit and laugh at hilarious jokes. So I feel like that's a win. So I was literally in line, about to go into the theater. They're about to open the doors, and I was able to snag one for Toy Story Mania for right now. So I'm gonna go ride it because 1, I want to see if I can beat my score, and 2, if I ride that, tap in, that gives me the chance to try for Slinky Dog again. And I would always rather ride Toy Story Mania than watch Frozen because Toy Story is one of my favorite rides. So I'm gonna go ride that again, and then fingers crossed for Slinky.
It's a classic. Way to play, everyone.
My arm is very sore. Totally worth it. I did beat my score, so congrats to me. And while I was in the line, I went ahead and grabbed one for Fantasmic, which is not for a while, but it keeps coming and going on the list, so I'd rather have it and then modify it to something else than get something else and then never get it again. I think that makes sense. Anyway, I'm basically looking for Slinky Dog at this point because I don't want to jinx losing Fantasmic. So I'm gonna keep looking for Slinky Dog. Do you believe in miracles? To quote the 2004 sports film of the name Miracle, one of my favorites. Oh, when they say, "Who do you play for? USA." I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, I opened up my Disney experience one more time and thought I'll refresh Fantasmic a couple more times just to see if anything pops up. Guess what popped up? You probably already have. Slinky Dog Dash. That's right, I found a Slinky Dog Dash FastPass for $7.40, which is in about an hour. I'm sure as heck not messing with that. So now I have an hour to go eat leisurely? What's happening right now? But anyway, after I do that, I'll come over, I'll be here right at 7:40, because then I got a fingers crossed, hope I can get a Fantasmic, which is at 8:20. But wow, guys, wow. Now that I get to have a leisurely meal before my Slinky Dog Dash Fast Pass, I was torn between 2 different places to show you guys. I think I've shown both before at some point or another, but my 2 favorite places to eat in Hollywood Studios are Baseline Tap House or the Brown Derby Lounge. And I like both these places because they're not full quick service, but they're not full table service either. They're both great places to just sit back, relax, have a delicious meal, some tapas maybe, have a good craft beer at Baseline or a signature cocktail over at the Brown Derby. So I'm not sure which one I'm feeling yet. It's like cheese board and beer, Cobb salad and martini.
AllEars.net.
You'll see here the lounge does have a small bites menu, the Cobb salad, which is a smaller version of the classic Cobb salad that they've served since this place opened inside. And then they've also got a cheese board, a tuna poke, shrimp, and sliders, and it's all fabulous. And then they also have a variety of beverages. They have a full bar, and then they've got like martini trios, which are fun if you want to try a few things, or a margarita trio. Upon the recommendation of my server, I got the pomegranate martini, which is absolute citron, pomegranate liqueur, and cranberry juice. So it's kind of like their take on a Cosmo, but it's a classic cocktail they have on the menu. You can get it as part of the martini light, a trio, or you can just get one. Cheers to Slinky Dogs. Ooh. I taste the cranberry juice the most, and then the vodka. but that is nice. So if you're looking for a good place for a cocktail, some people watching, and a good meal, this is a good spot. And this is so good, but I definitely recommend either ordering something you like or trying one of the trios, because it's really fun to try a couple different martinis and see which one's your fave. I also have a great wine list, any cocktail you can think of, a couple beers, so anything your heart desires you could get right here at the Brown Derby. They even have a grapefruit cake martini. One of their signature items is grapefruit cake, just from the original Brown Derby, which is actually in Hollywood. I talk all about it in the Fun Facts About Disney's Hollywood Studios video. I'll link that for you. But they have a martini version of that famous dessert, which is really good, very dessert-like drink. Here is that iconic salad. It comes in this cute little bowl with the dressing, and then it's got these little crumbly, like, cracker things. They're kind of sweet that you can crumble on top, but underneath them, the little board it comes on is actually customized with the bowler hat, and it says the famous Cobb salad. So cute. This is another iconic recipe from the Hollywood Brown Derby in California. They've been serving it since the Brown Derby here opened. It's been the same recipe ever since, and it's fabulous. Gotta mix it up. So this is finely chopped greens. There's some tomato, egg, chopped turkey, bacon, avocado, and blue cheese. It is literally so good. I know you're like, Molly, it's a salad, calm down, but seriously, it's so good. It's just so fresh and light, and I love those crumblies and the bite from the blue cheese. I love avocado, which probably doesn't surprise y'all. It's just so fresh and light, and so much of what you eat at a theme park is so heavy. And so if you need something a little lighter, but still so packed full of flavor and history, and you can have a cocktail and sit out here, you cannot do better than the Brown Derby salad. Feeling extra good leaving the Brown Derby. I had such a delightful time there. I always do. My seater was named Jackie, and she was like, wait, I recognize you. My husband Chuck watches your videos. And they used to be, or she's still a cast member, and they met working here in Fantasyland. He worked at 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and she worked at Mr. Toad, and he helped her one day. I love that. I just adore that. So, hi Chuck. What a great little story I got to hear while I was at the Brown Derby. And now I'm headed back to Toy Story Land. I think I say this every video, but you have got to come to Toy Story Land at night. It is such a different experience. It is so cool at night. It's all lit up with these Christmas lights that Annie hung up in the backyard, and it's so awesome at night. Yeah. I'm so excited. I love this ride. Said it before, I'll say it again. If you can get a Slinky Dog FastPass, get it. This attraction is so much fun. It may look not that scary or that intense, but I'm telling you, it's more intense than it looks, and it's a blast. Every time I ride it, I have so much fun. I wanted to get Fantasmic, which is in about 15 minutes is when the FastPass window starts, but it's not showing up. So I grabbed Tower of Terror just one more time, why not? And I'm walking that way, and I'm gonna fiddle, and I'm gonna faddle until I hopefully get Fantasmic. I just learned a new trick that I'm excited to share with you. So I booked one for Tower of Terror, and I wasn't getting anything except for Tower of Terror, and Rock and Roller Coaster were still popping up, so I could be going on one of those again. But I then canceled the Tower of Terror, and then went in to make another FastPass, and it said that Hollywood Studios was done distributing FastPasses for the day, so I couldn't even select it, which I was like, oh, ruh-roh. So then I thought, what about a FastPass kiosk? You see, there's these FastPass kiosks all over the park that are basically a screen that does what the app does, where you can make the FastPasses, select them, change them. You don't have to use your phone to do it. You just tap your card or your Magic Band on it, and then you can use the FastPass Plus system. And I thought to myself, I wonder if the kiosks run later or will let me choose things later than the app. And totally worked. I had to fiddle and faddle for like 5 minutes at that kiosk like a crazy person. I eventually got another tower just in case I couldn't get Fantasmic, and then I just kept asking it to modify over and over and over again, and eventually Fantasmic showed up. So that's my greatest and latest tip, is if something's not showing up or it tells you can't get any more on the app, maybe try a kiosk and see if something different comes up. I don't know if that's going to help forever, but it helped me tonight. Just beeped in for Fantasmic, which means I got all of them, plus I did a few twice. I'll get my tally in a second, but I adore the show. It's one of my favorite things in Walt Disney World. I highly recommend you check it out, and I highly recommend you either get a FastPass, maybe don't cut it as close as I did, or do the dining package where you have a prefix meal at one of the sit-down restaurants here, and then you get special reserve seating. Or there's a dessert party you can do where you come in and get some special desserts and drinks, and then you get VIP seating for that as well. I definitely recommend using one of these ways to make sure you have a seat at Fantasmic, because it's amazing. I would say around a couple hours before Fantasmic, make sure you lock in that FastPass. Especially if you've got a bigger group than just me, because most of you will. So that way you can guarantee that you've got a seat. Without a FastPass or dessert party or something like that, people line up like an hour early, even on not busy days. So I'm sitting here in an almost full amphitheater. It's about 20 minutes till showtime, and it started sprinkling, and they came on the loudspeaker and said it may be delayed or canceled if the weather gets worse. But I technically got the FastPass, but I want to see the show. Everybody claps when Mickey shows up at the top of the mountain and they're down again. Some imagination, huh? Too much. Well, there you have it, friends. Hollywood Studios FastPass Challenge complete. In total, I was able to get 17 FastPasses, 18 if you count Frozen that second time, but I was able to do all 13 FastPass attractions and do 4 of them twice, so I will consider this a very big success. I know I'm just one person, so it's a little easier for me to pull FastPasses, but hopefully you can use these tips and tricks and you should be able to get way more than those original 3 FastPasses, and it should help out with Hollywood Studios and those crazy tiers. Let me know what you want to see next in the comments. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram at AllEars.net, and until next time, y'all, I'm Molly, and it's been so magical. Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.